welcome to this month's edition of the Community Bridge. I'm blessed to have here with me today Jacquelyn Jenke from the South Suburban Joy Emporium. Jacquelyn, it's great to have you here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me and inviting us to be able to share Joy Emporium with the community here.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am the co-founder and president and also the director of outreach at the South Suburban Joy Emporium. Grew up here in the south suburbs, Chicago Ridge, moved around a bit, graduated at Eisenhower High School, went to University of Illinois Chicago here, have a degree in marketing from UIC, and got into hospitality for a little while before getting into real estate, and had a history working in nonprofits since high school. I started working with the Southwest YMCA over here in Alsip I think I was 16 when I first started that job with George Popelka, who I think is an alderman here in Palos Heights as well. Got to work under him, amazing human being, and got to work alongside a lot of their programs that help the youth and the homeless in our area. So that gave me an insight into some of the hardship that we see here in the suburbs at an early age. That stuck with me for many, many years to come. And even when I was working in the city in hotels, I started working with the Chicago Help Initiative, and they do support services for the homeless in the city. And I've been on their board for about 10 years now and have been wanting to do something here in the south suburbs. So a couple of years ago, we decided to kick off South Suburban Joy Emporium, and it has been growing very quickly and with a lot of community support. So we're excited.
Great. So share about the South Suburban Joy Emporium. What is it? What's the mission of the organization? How did it come about? Who's a part of it?
Yeah, so our mission is to cultivate joy in the community by creating opportunities for neighbors to help neighbors, and we do that by creating support services for youth, adults, and seniors struggling with homelessness, hunger, and abuse, and we do that through our volunteers and our partnerships with communities as well. So we do partner with townships and other agencies as well to help create free programming and fun events to put on throughout the community as well.
Great. So neighbor to neighbor, what does that look like?
It looks like a lot of ragtag professionals getting out and really putting these programs together and connecting with families in need, individuals in need, and really just trying to meet people where they are and create solutions around them. A lot of people may not have a support system, they might not have, or even if they do have a great strong family, they might not have the financial support that they may need for certain things. So we really try to meet people where they are and create the solutions around them. But we do offer a set array of services at our facility here in Midlothian, and it's everything from food to, we have a furniture bank, we have a clothing pantry. We are putting in the first ever public showers that are going to be available to our community. Currently there are no showers available to any homeless, or even if there's a family displaced due to a fire or something like that. There's nowhere for them to really go shower outside of either being able to afford a hotel or going to a gym. So, creating solutions like that for our community is something that we are, geared to do. So, on top of that, we do outreach. We do a lot of deliveries. A lot of our neighbors are not able to get to the services they need, so we do offer ride sharing. We will also bring food to families that may not have a vehicle. We'll bring clothing to different homeless camps in our area. And a lot of what we do, like I said, is just volunteers stepping up and helping us reach out and be able to help families that have reached out to us.
Wow, it's all over the place as far as the things that you do.
Yeah.
So how did it start, and what's been kind of the evolution of the Joy Emporium?
So it actually, to go a little further back, I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Preferred Realty in Orland, and I have been on leadership for the last 5 years, and about my third year in leadership there, I was discussing with the team our big whys and why we do what we're doing, why we work so hard at it. And a lot of people's big why is their family and their kids. And I don't have kids. And I always figured I'd be taking care of mom, that was my big why. And over COVID, mom kind of fell into a little bit of money after an uncle passed away. And we no longer had me kind of being the breadwinner and needing to kind of take care of mom. So it opened up my time and my abilities a bit to kind of really look at what did I want to do. And I started talking with a couple like-minded women on our team that had a similar vision of opening up a community center in our area and to be able to serve our community. And we started talking about this idea I've had since I was a kid and their ideas of what they wanted to bring to the table, and we decided to team up and make it a reality. It was coming out of the tail end of COVID, and more our team just kept saying, you guys have to do this now. The time is now. The need is there, and the need was growing daily. So I decided, let's do this, and we kind of were running out of my house for the first year and a half. My garage turned into a furniture pantry, and my guest room turned into a clothing pantry. My office turned into a food pantry. And we were doing deliveries around the neighborhood. We were helping families that were coming out of transitional housing. So we teamed up with partners like the Crisis Centers of South Suburbia, who help domestic violence victims, a couple local churches as well that help families that are going into transitional housing or coming out of transitional housing and then going into more permanent housing. We would help furnish their apartments for them. We also teamed up with Zelda's Kitchen Witches, that's out of Palos here. They help provide brand new kitchen items for families that are going into permanent housing. So we were able to team up with them. I'm actually on their board now as well, amazing organization. So we really just started partnering with a lot of local charities that do work with the homeless, work with domestic violence victims, food pantries that provide food, and really just started seeing where the need was and what was really needed and how we could try to solve these problems that maybe the agencies weren't able to do because they're tied to certain funding, or smaller agencies weren't able to do because they focus on one specific thing. This way we were able to kind of do a bit more and also start receiving donations to build upon more programs as we saw the need growing. So as I mentioned, when it was started in my garage a couple of years ago, we were delivering food and clothing to homeless camps around the area, cooking meals for Beds Plus, one of our partners who has shelters here in the south suburbs. And again, just kind of opening our eyes to really what was needed. We did everything from mowing lawns for seniors whose, maybe their husband's back went out, or, they weren't able to afford a lawn care service. Made a couple phone calls and we were able to get it covered for them for free. There's a lot of businesses and individuals in our area that have a giving heart. And I think especially coming out of COVID, we wanted to find out a way to start putting these people to work, because a lot of people are looking for volunteer opportunities, but they're limited on time or they're limited on their skills. A lot of professionals, especially we found, want to be able to offer, plumbing services or teaching. A lot of our childcare professionals want to offer free mentoring and things like that. I'm involved in the music industry. I'm a drummer, and I have a lot of friends who teach music that now are offering to teach free classes to kids in crisis. So, every time we come across somebody that we can utilize in some way or another, we're happy to create a program around that and make it happen.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of partners, and you almost fill in kind of the cracks that are on the margins of what it is that they take care of, but there's not a place to pick it up seamlessly from there and transition it into where another partner would take care of it.
Right.
Knowing that some of those partners are really well known and have been established, what are some of the partners that you have that you've worked alongside and that you've supported over the past few years?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Crisis Center South Suburbia, Zelda's. We work with a number of pantries in the area as well. We actually merged our food pantry with St. Stephen's Pantry in Midlothian. So now we can offer delivery services out of that pantry as well. We're looking to expand that pantry and put in a freezer soon, hopefully, if we can manage to fundraise for that. We also just moved Sleep in Heavenly Peace into our community center as well. So that was an amazing partnership that has already helped a number of families in our area. If you're not familiar with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, SHP, they are booming around our neighborhood. They're always doing different events, and their president was looking for a space to move some of their storage items to. As many of us are feeling these days, cost of everything has been going up, including storage space. So they had seen month over month, their storage unit had just gone up and up and up in price, and they started looking at alternatives. So when we took over our community center, we talked to them about being able to share some of the space with them, so that not only would they have adequate storage space, but they also have use of our giant parking lot. Previously, they were having to call around different neighborhoods to find facilities large enough to house their huge bed build days that they do, where they invite 100 members of the community to come out. They assemble somewhere between 30 and 40 beds that everybody gets a chance if they want to sand, drill holes, you can stain the wood, you can even brand the wood with a hot iron at the end. It's a really fun event for families to get involved with. There's a lot of schools that get involved with it. Companies can, sponsor as well. But what's great about that is they were able to get out in the community or get out in our parking lot, set everything up right there, have their bed builds, and then bring it right back in, and they don't have to rent trucks or do any of the running around that they used to have to do.
That allows them to do more of their mission. I know their mission is to provide beds for kids, to make sure there's no kids that are sleeping on the floor, and they work with local schools to identify needs. So it's great to see that a partnership is developed and that there's some cooperation that's really making an impact in the community.
Yeah, we wanted to create, as our name says, a joy emporium. So a one-stop shop where you can really get connected with a number of different agencies, a number of different service providers, and get your needs met and hopefully restore joy in your life.
So one of the neat things that you've highlighted, and I want to go back to, is it sounds like there's a lot of case-by-case needs where they find themselves connected to you or connected to the Joy Emporium. What are some of the stories that you might be able to tell of how the Emporium has really helped or made a difference or impact in somebody's life?
So many stories, and I love being able to share this part, especially because so many people that we've been able to help, they're private matters, and they're not out there just sharing it with the world, and we're not going to go out there and necessarily share it with the world either, because it is a private matter. But I'm happy to say that we've been able to help thousands of members of our community each year in just the 3.5 years that we've been doing this. And we had one gentleman we helped out very early on. He just left us an amazing Google review, and he is one of our ambassadors now. He was, like many people, a hardworking, he was a security guard working downtown. He had to have carpal tunnel surgery. This is very common. We come across this a lot, where individuals need to have surgery or have some sort of medical episode that disrupts their career, their job, and their life, and they fall behind on bills. He, very proud man, didn't want to reach out for help until the 11th hour. Unfortunately, by the time he called us, he had just enough left in his savings for one more night at a hotel. His clothes had been stolen, his shoes had been stolen, and it was the middle of winter. He gave us a call. I think it was after dark. I remember driving out to his hotel after dark, meeting with him to bring him blankets and jackets and shoes, because he said he didn't have these things, and sometimes you don't know what you're really going to encounter once you get there. But when we got there, he literally had nothing and was walking around in shorts in, I think it was 30 degrees. So we brought him clothes, we brought him shoes, got him a couple jackets, and started working with him on some housing. Within 2 days, we had him placed in an apartment where we, again, through one of our partners, Lester's Place, they offer affordable housing for people on fixed income, and oftentimes will work with us as well to provide housing. And for very, very low rates, starting right around $650, you can get an apartment that's fully furnished, all utilities, Wi-Fi included, and they're brand new renovated. They're just beautiful. So we were able to get him into Lester's Place, and from there he became a Lester's Place house manager, was able to get his PERK card back so he could get his job back as a security guard, and he is back working now. It was a process because he still had some recovery to do from his surgery. 6 months later, he was able to go back to work, and he's going to be at our upcoming Joy Gala this year as well.
That's a beautiful story on a lot of different levels, not only on providing for people that are in need, but I think also in dispelling this stigma around those that need help, thinking that it's people that have, contributed to their own situation, which is oftentimes really less likely than the other way, which you described, of falling on a hard time due to something that's unforeseen or uncontrollable on their hand.
I'd say probably well over 50% of the calls we get are people that are experiencing hardship due to some sort of medical issue. And I'm not even putting mental health into that category. This is strictly some sort of medical issue that disrupted their life that significantly. We do also, help out a lot of domestic violence and families that are just struggling right now because taxes have gone up, rent has gone up, people are really feeling the pinch. We're doing a lot more food deliveries than we ever have. We're doing a lot more supplemental rent just to help people stay in their homes because shelters are full right now. And it's so much better if we can keep somebody in their home just through this period until they can, get back on their feet, get that raise they need, find out an alternative source of income. A lot of people that are on fixed income, we're helping to qualify for additional income now. And doing what we can to help them supplement. But one other great thing I have to highlight with all of the people that we help, and I have to mention this, is that so many of these individuals and families, once we're able to help them, they want to come back and volunteer with us. And that's awesome. Like the fact that they, I tell everybody, a lot of people think that we're giving them a handout, and there's that kind of negative tonality to, getting help. And we're really trying to remove that stigma. Everybody goes through hardship. You should be able to ask for help. You shouldn't feel ashamed of that. So we tell everybody, if you had a stronger support system or a family able to help you, this wouldn't be a handout. This would be just help, from the family. So we consider you family, and this is just us helping. And so, on the flip side of that, they come in and they love to volunteer with us. They love to give back. They want to feel like they are helping us, continue helping others. And that's been great. There's a woman who we started helping probably about 8 months ago. She was a domestic violence survivor and had been 2 years back on her feet, but had recently lost her job and was looking for a new source of income. She had fallen behind on rent, so we helped her to apply for some, new careers and supplement her rent in the interim. We were also helping provide food and gas for her to get to these interviews. This was one of the hardest working women we had seen. She was doing everything she could. 4 or 5 applications a day. And if you guys don't know, most applications these days take about 2 hours to fill out. So applying for jobs is not as easy as it used to be. You're taking psychological tests online and doing all kinds of things. So she was really, really putting in all the work and the effort. So we really wanted to match that effort to make sure she got back on her feet. And she just started a job yesterday where she is also getting trained for a certified nursing assistant. So not only is this going to be a job she's going into, but it's going to be a full career path for her. And we're just super excited for her. And now she's helping us in the Joy Garden, and she's volunteering with us, and we just love having her.
That's fantastic. What a amazing story of how, a little bit of help can contribute to an individual making a lasting, long-term investment in themselves and in the community. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. And sometimes it only takes a little bit to help people over a really big hump.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing that little bit. But as I'm thinking about you doing that little bit, I know that it takes time, it takes resources, it takes volunteers. What's the funding structure? How is it that the Joy Emporium is supported?
So we are 100% volunteer based. None of our staff, none of the founders, and none of our team are paid for anything. It is just people stepping up when the time is needed, and our funding is mainly privately funded as well. We've gotten some grants to help us out with the outreach and with some renovations we're doing to our building. We've gotten a very generous grant from Good Shepherd Lutheran Church to help us with our community center, and we've also gotten a grant from Northwestern Medicine to help us with bringing on a licensed social worker. We actually just partnered with Dr. Carla at the Cognitive Clinic in Palos Hills, and she is overseeing our clinical staff now, so we're going to be able to provide free counseling to families. We're already providing free counseling to families in need, and we're going to be able to grow that even more with some help from Northwestern Medicine. We're just super ecstatic to be able to offer that because we have had a lot of calls in the past, individuals struggling with addiction. We've been able to get into treatment. Families who have children with autism or different spectrum disorders that are really struggling to find the support that they need. Dr. Carla at the Cognitive Clinic is amazing. She not only does, your traditional routes of therapy, but she is open to a lot of different avenues when it comes to, what people are doing these days to really help with mental health and awareness of different spectrum disorders. So we absolutely love her. She's a big impact on our Joy Garden as well. She's the one really, we have a peace poles going up in our garden. And
what is the Joy Garden?
So we just launched our Joy Garden this year at the community center, and it is we were just so blessed to have this space. It's a 4,000 square foot building, but then we also have about a 2,500 square foot fenced in backyard with a raised garden. So this last year we planted all sorts of veggies and fruit and flowers in our Joy Garden, and we also started a rock garden where you can come and either select a rock that you want to take with you. They all have different sayings on them, different mantras, and we invite people to bring and leave a rock as well in the garden, sort of a contemplation area for you to just come and relax. And we've actually been able to donate some of our produce back to the food pantry because our food pantry does get pantry items mostly. There's not a lot of fresh produce, so it's nice to be able to go over there with some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. We've got zucchini, peppers, hopefully pumpkins soon.
Yeah.
And we've got squash and blueberries next season should be coming in. So we're going to keep growing on that, and hopefully we'll be able to provide even more fresh produce to our pantry next season.
Great. And what's the address of the facility?
We are at 14700 Kildare Avenue in Midlothian, right off 147th in Kildare. You can't miss us.
Great. Now, you mentioned that there's a gala upcoming to help and support the Joy Emporium. Where is that going to be held? When's that going to be?
Yeah, so this September 20th at the Lyric Theater in Blue Island, we will be hosting our second annual Joy Gala. and this is a Roaring 20s casino night theme. So if you were at last year's, I know it was pretty epic, but this year will be definitely very memorable.
Fantastic. So now, if somebody wants to know more about the gala, or maybe they are interested in, they have a need, and hey, this sounds like it might be a place I could go as I'm looking at all the last strings that I can pull on, or people have that ability, that skill, that time where they want to volunteer and really make a difference, how can people follow up with you and with the Joy Emporium?
So check us out online, joyemporium.org. That is definitely the one-stop shop for all of our contact information, upcoming events, what we've been up to. And if you want to get to know some of our team, our dedicated team, definitely check us out there. We're on Facebook, South Suburban Joy Emporium, and that's again more of a daily reminder of what we have going on. All of our events are shared there as well. But if you're looking to get involved, just email us, ssjeinfo@gmail.com. And that's really where we filter some of our volunteers, our partners, and get them connected then with some of the programs that we're doing.
Lastly, well, before I give you the stage to kind of say any closing thoughts, I guess I'd love for you to share a message to anybody that might be in that moment of where I think I need help, but I'm not sure yet, or I don't feel like I want help, but I know I need it. What is it that you'd say to them?
Reach out sooner than later. Don't think that you can do everything yourself. Nobody does. And, like I said before, there's no shame in asking for help. Everybody goes through hardship. And a lot of times you'll get a lot further, a lot faster if you just let people know what you need right away. There's a lot of amazing people out there, and I bet you would be surprised how quickly people step up to help and come to your aid the moment you let them know you need it. And that's really it. There's so many people out there that hold back. They think that they're going to be judged. They think that people are going to laugh at them, or that they're going to, be ridiculed in some way. And I find that more often than not, people are very happily surprised at how quickly people step up and come to their aid when we just know what you need.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing about community. And thanks for bringing joy into it. Is there anything else that you'd want to share before we close our time up?
Yes, if you want to come, or if you are in need, we have a free pop-up fresh market that we do monthly, and we are going to be doing our next one Saturday, September 21st at Eisenhower High School. Bring a tote, come on by, get about $100 worth of free high-end groceries, and we will be doing that monthly. So again, check us out on Facebook if you are in need.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming in today, but more importantly, thank you for being part of spreading joy and really helping the community, the greater South Suburban community, come together and provide for one another. Just an amazing thing, and I thank you for it. And I really hope that you enjoyed your time today and consider getting involved and making a real difference in the life of the community. Thanks again to Jacquelyn from the South Suburban Joy Emporium. And until next time, God bless.